Here's where I disagree with Chael. Jack Della Maddalena is as tough as anyone in the UFC.
He continues to duck him.
Ilia Topuria has been vocal about his desire to fight Islam Makhachev. In a recent podcast appearance, he reiterated that if both he and Islam win their upcoming bouts, he wants to face him next. Topuria's confidence is understandable. He's undefeated and has already beaten some of the greatest featherweights of all time. However, before any potential fight with Makhachev, Topuria must first get past Charles Oliveira, a former lightweight champion who remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the UFC. Looking ahead to Islam while Oliveira stands in front of him could be risky, as a single loss could derail all future plans. In the lead-up to the Oliveira fight, it has also been reported that Topuria is not currently in camp with his longtime team due to scheduling conflicts, though there appears to be no bad blood. This is notable considering how closely this team has worked with him since he was a teenager, and it raises questions about how the change in camp dynamics might affect such a crucial fight. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev is making a move to welterweight to fight Jack Della Maddalena. Daniel Cormier disagrees with Chael Sonnen's claim that Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight shows weakness. DC argues that Islam has long planned to move up and is taking on a tough opponent in Jack Della Maddalena, not avoiding challenges. He points out that critics used to call Islam a weight bully, and now that he's moving to a more natural weight class, they still criticize him.
Here's where I disagree with Chael. He had been having his eyes on 170. This isn't something new that Makhachev was talking about. And how about the fact that people constantly call Islam, they called me, or anyone that cuts weight bullies. What about now that he's going up and he's going to fight in a weight class that most of you say is more suited for his size? How is that not doing?
DC also highlights Islam's track record of fighting anyone, even on short notice, and sees the move as courageous and well-earned, not cowardly. Cormier also emphasizes that Islam's decision to prioritize his own career goals, like moving up in weight, shouldn't be viewed negatively. He believes fighters have the right to chase new challenges, especially after consistently proving themselves at the highest level. In DC's view, Islam has stepped up every time the UFC or the fans asked him to, and this move is simply the next chapter in a career defined by taking risks and accepting tough fights.
Exactly what people have called for years. Well, he's so good only because he cuts so much weight. If he weighs that much, he should do well against those people that are much smaller than him. How about now? And Jack Della Maddalena is as tough as anyone in the UFC. He's an amazing fighter. So not only are you going up to fight at a weight class more suited for you in the eyes of the people that ingest this thing, but you're also going up to fight a guy that just beat a person that you said, I don't really want to fight him. We share management. We're friends. He just beat that person. He beat that person convincingly also.
Islam has expressed interest in going up to 170 pounds for some time, and now he's taking on a legitimate threat in a higher weight class. Some have criticized this move as avoiding Topuria, but others argue that Makhachev is doing exactly what critics have demanded, fighting at a weight class more appropriate for his size against a tough and deserving opponent. Della Maddalena recently beat a fighter Islam had connections to, making this bout even more significant. Whether or not Topuria versus Makhachev actually happens remains uncertain. The weight class gap is a major obstacle, and it's unclear whether either fighter is willing to make a full commitment to meet the other. Michael Bisping explained that Ilia Topuria could become the UFC's first three-division champion if he beats Charles Oliveira at lightweight and Islam Makhachev becomes welterweight champ by defeating Jack Della Maddalena. Bisping believes Topuria has a good shot due to his calculated style, while Makhachev's win isn't guaranteed.
If Islam beats Jack Della Maddalena, right, we know this fight's going to happen. Islam versus Topuria, these two are destined to meet. The only way it doesn't is if, according to Ilia, he continues to duck him, just like John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall, okay? Right? That would be the only way, because Ilia wants to fight him. Islam is around the same weight, and if Islam goes up to 170 and he becomes the champ...
If both win, a super fight at 170 is likely. However, if Islam loses and returns to 155, Topuria may deny him an immediate title shot, saying what's fair is fair. Bisping also noted rising interest from Paddy Pimblett, but sees Topuria versus Islam as the real destined fight.
Ilia Topuria is going to say, I want to go up to 170. And I'm telling you, given the star power that Ilia Topuria has, there's a really good chance that the UFC make that matchup. And guess what? If Islam doesn't win and he wants to come back down to 155, Ilia Topuria has already said he's not going to give him a title fight straight away. And you can't blame him. Fair play. I mean, listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You want to make...
Makhachev has stated that if Topuria continues to win fights at 155, he might return to lightweight to face him. Until then, both men have different paths. Topuria must defend his featherweight title against Oliveira, while Makhachev will be tested at welterweight. Despite the uncertainty, one thing is clear. Both fighters are extremely active and consistently face top-level opposition. Since 2021, Makhachev has fought 7 times and Topuria 6, showing a willingness from both to step up against any challenger. While fans eagerly anticipate a potential showdown between these two rising stars, their current challenges must first play out. What happens in their upcoming fights will heavily influence whether this future super fight becomes a reality. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember, fight for your dream because no one will give it to you.